Oh, it's a long, long while from May to December, but the days grow short when you reach September, when the autumn weather turns the leaves to flame. One hasn't got time for the waiting game. Oh, the days dwindle down to a precious few. September, November, and these few precious days I'll spend with you. These precious days I'll spend with you. Wah 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 wee wah wah da dee 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 dee. Good afternoon, Dawn. Aloha Z. Aloha. Good afternoon in Hawaii. Good evening in Chicago. David, good evening. You're first. You're first in line. I sent you a text. I wanted to know if it would be okay for me to plug something new of yours, but I didn't see the text. So I'll leave it alone. All I will say is um, rah, 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 sis boom ba. Your alma mater stands by you. I don't know what I'm talking about. Good evening and welcome to the nosho. The nosho, which happens always every night at 9. You're here. I'm here. The dogs are all here. Kirsten's here. The dog is snoring. Okay, look. It's September song. It's Kurt Weill, and it's a beautiful song. And I'm gonna go back now and do the beginning of the song, which has really nice, little nice poetry. When I was a young man courting the girls. When I was a young man courting the girls, I played me a waiting game. If a maid refused me with tossing her curls, I let the old earth take a couple of whirls, while I plied her with tears in lieu of pearls. And as time came around, she came my way. As time came around, she came. Oh, it's a long while from May to December, but the days grow short as you reach December. You know, another one of these songs about the calendar. Hey, hey, Kathy. Hey, Neuro Geezer. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. All right, let me see there's another intro. I want to hear what it says here. When you meet with the young men early in spring, they court you in song and rhyme. They woo you with words and a clover ring, but if you examine the goods they bring, they have little to offer but the songs they sing, and a plentiful waste of time. A plentiful waste of time of day. That's a weird phrase. And a plentiful waste of time of day. A plentiful waste of time. Oh, it's a long way from May to December. All right, we get the idea. The idea seems to be that when you're young and you're courting a girl or whoever you're courting, you got a lot of time. You can play games. That's what it is. You can play games. If a maid refused me with tossing curls, I let the old earth take a couple of whirls. That's a beautiful phrase for letting time go by. While I plied her with tears in lieu of pearls, and as time came around, she came my way. Okay, patience in love. That's what they're advocating here. Words by Maxwell Anderson. Music by Kurt Weill from the show Knickerbocker Holiday. Never seen it. This is one of those nice old pieces of sheet music. That's the actual like antique piece of sheet music from 1938. It's so old that when they have these little markings here of like what chord to play on your guitar. There's an asterisk so that at the bottom it says these are charts, diagrams, so you know how to play this on the guitar. I think probably only a really old piece of sheet music explains what those are. It's funny. So Z says that sheet is great. I appreciate it. Weirdly, today I noticed that the store right on my block, there's a store. It's called Casper, and they sell mattresses and sheets and things like that. And they make the sheet pun in a big decal on their window. It's what you'd call maybe low-hanging fruit, but why not? There was a product about 10 years ago that came out, and it was some little, but it was like some flavored thing that came out in sheets, and they had a lot of sheets puns in their product, which wasn't great for like a food-related item. How does it sound upside down, this song? I don't know. I'm not able to do that. Although I did see a thing. Oh wait, Kathy, do you know that product? Those sheets? Although I guess there's also a gas station down south called Sheets. So speaking of playing things upside down, yesterday I was scrolling around and I saw a clip of Paul McCartney playing Heartbreak Hotel, I think it was, on an upright bass. It was a concert that he gave, and he was talking about having Elvis on stage with him, and he had the actual bass that Elvis's bassist played on those recordings. So there's this video of Paul McCartney playing the upright bass, and I sent it to a guy who was my roommate at the Aspen Music Festival in '96, and he said, "Yeah, it's interesting because McCartney is a lefty who plays lefty, so he's playing an upright bass lefty, which you never see. But this friend of mine who's a bassist said he's a lefty who plays righty. So take that for what it's worth." All right. Just getting comfortable here. The puppy's doing really well. The puppy is napping. The puppy has a somewhat complicated gastric life, but that's apparently to be expected with Great Danes, and we had a Great Dane mix in the past who had a tummy situation. We'll see how it resolves. But a very sweet dog, and all she wants to do is be part of the pack and lie on the couch like she's doing right now. So, and I took them for a walk as a group of 3 for the first time today, which was really fun because we used to have a group of 3, and I like that feeling. It's kind of like water skiing. You know, you have a lot of propulsion, and you're holding on to the 3 leashes. It's very pleasant. Today I had a funny audition thing happen, which was I got called in to do an audition for a film in person, which almost never happens these days. So I went up to 48th Street and 8th Avenue, went into a studio like in the old days. There was the director and the writer, same person, and then a producer, and there was a camera, and we read the scene, and then I left. It was like in the old days. We did a couple of takes, and then I left. That ain't how it goes normally anymore. So then I came home and self-taped. You know that show, Sex in the City? Is it Sex in the City or Sex and the City? It's probably Sex and the City, right? When I was a young man courting the girls, I played a waiting game. Sex and the City, yeah. It's called Sex and the City. But there's a sequel now, Sex on the City. Yeah. Oh, Kathy asks, how potty duty with 3 dogs? You know, very politely. They don't do the trio. They take their turns, and it's all very easy on that score. Although, you know, a Great Dane, that could be a lot of work in that department. So, can you guys hear that? Can you say all suggested puppy names together? Could sound important and comedic. Oh, okay, Dawn, I like that idea. So on the leaderboard for the puppy names are Kundry and Brunhilde. Kundry and Brunhilde. Or, yeah, Brindlehilde. Oh, Brindlehilde, someone is suggesting, and Brinny for short. I don't know, that sounds a little preppy for us. Brinny. Girl dog, girl. Yeah, she is a girl dog. Okay, so Brunhilde or Kundry. And then I also found myself calling her Biggie. Biggie a few times today. Biggie is a cute name, and it just comes naturally. But Biggie was kind of a little bit of a nickname maybe for our former big dog. There's Biggie, and also Biggie is a famous iconic rapper from here in Brooklyn, Biggie Smalls. So Biggie's a nice name. Also, we thought of Catherine the Great, Catherine or Katerina the Great. A Warren is saying Greta. Greta is a nice name. Or Gretel, like Hansel und Gretel. Gretel. She'll grow to feel insulted. Is there a pun or a joke in there that I didn't get? I think there might be. Okay, what other names did we have? Oh, Scooby-Doo happened today. Someone just, when Kirsten was walking the dog, someone just said, hey, there's Scooby-Doo. So Scooby-Doo would be cute, but it's a little too on the nose. Yeah, Neurogeezer, I like the idea, but we're not going to get into the Italian opera repertoire. Although it would make sense with the dark eyes. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Yeah. Okay, so I did these auditions tonight for the the sequel. It's a TV series. I think it's HBO, and it's And Just Like That is the title. The show is called And Just Like That. It's a series, and it's I don't know if you call it a sequel, but it's kind of the sequel to Sex and the City. And this was a fun series of auditions, auditioning for the parts of, I can't, I'm not allowed to talk about it in any detail, but some dates, some guys. So it was fun. The scenes were really fun. Self-tape that just now, and I'm going to look at the takes later, and then submit them. That's what happens. Yeah, the good thing with Kundry also for a name is that Gornamants and Kundry are a pair in that opera Parsifal. Yes, Z, very strict NDA. T. Swanson says, I mostly agree with Feldman that animals shouldn't have people's names. I understand that and I get that, but I can't agree completely. And there has to be an exception made for fictional human names. No? Hey, Swayze Maine. Nice to see you. We're talking about dogs. We're talking about auditions. This is a nice song I haven't done for a little while. She once had a cat named Larry. Yeah, that's cute. I like it. So I have a friend who had a dog, a little beautiful schnauzer named Uncle Ralph. That was my introduction to the idea of dogs with people names. I really like that. Oh, Kathy, you had a dog named Sabrina, like Sabrina from Bewitched. That's a good name for a cat. This is that song from 1939. We'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue skies drive the dark clouds far away. So will you please say hello to the folks that I know? Tell 'em I won't be long. They'll be happy to know that as you saw me go, I was singing this song. We'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. So will you please say hello to the folks that I know? Tell 'em I won't be long. They'll be happy to know that as you saw me go, I was singing this song. We'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. We'll meet again, yeah, that's a nice song. Oh, Vera Lynn sang that. Okay, I gotta look that up. Z asks, are you a big Lebowski fan? I'm a pretty big Lebowski fan. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest Lebowski fan. No, I'm a big fan of The Big Lebowski. I love it. It's a great movie. I didn't kind of watch it watch it multiple times and memorize lines. It seems like it's one of those kind of cult films where you can do that. But it's amazing. Maybe my favorite thing in it is that actor, the guy with the amazing mustache and the incredible bass voice, the cowboy, who's sitting at the bar there in the bowling alley. Was it Sam Elliott? I think that's his name. He's just amazing. What an actor. That movie has a lot of great stuff in it. Thank you, thank you. It is a nice song. Thank you for. I'm currently sitting with Guinness, the dog, who's also enjoying. Oh, Mary. Oh, your dog is Guinness. That's a good name. What I've noticed also is there's this trend when there's a litter. Maybe it's not new, but I just started noticing it. Like at a bunch of the rescues that we follow, you'll find a litter, and the litter will have a bunch of names that are of a kind, like cookie names. Like there'll be a litter, and the dogs will be named Oreo and Triscuit and Chips Ahoy or whatever. And the other day at the event when we were picking up the rescues, when we were picking up ours, and there were other people picking up, there were some dogs that all had. It was cute. They had names of liquor. There was a Jose Cuervo. That was one of the dogs. I like that. There was a Jose Cuervo, and there was another. I don't know if there was a Captain Morgan's, but there was some liquor. Yeah, bunch of auditions. Bunch of auditions. Had that one today in person. Oh, this is the other funny thing that happened with that audition for and I keep forgetting the name of this Sex and the City sequel. I keep thinking it's called something like "And There You Have It," and so it goes, and just like that. That's the title, and just like that. Um, so I had an audition with the casting director in the Zoom room, which was fun instead of self taping. But when we started, it came to light that I didn't have all of the scenes that I was supposed to be reading for. So we just did one of them, one of the characters. I was reading for multiple characters. And then she said, just, I'm going to send you the other scenes, you'll self-tape them. So I had everything today. I had a self-tape this evening. Earlier in the evening, I had an in-person audition. And then earlier in the day, I had a Zoom room audition with the casting director. So today I did it all. I hadn't noticed that till I started describing it. Hey, Stephanie. Thank you, Stephanie, who's in the chat room now, who just did the scenes with me for, and there you have it. And so it goes. Them's the breaks. No, and just like that. That's the title of the show. And just like that. Oh, Kathy, you had horse. Yeah, your neighbor had horses that were named like that. Whiskey, Scotch, Tanqueray. Nice. Bum, ba, da, Oh, Vito's original name was Spots. That's cute. Yeah, we have Fafner or Fafi. Her original name, she came with the name Diamond, which was pretty cute, but didn't really suit us. Diamond. Oh, Leslie, are you talking about Sex and the City? Are they making that into a musical? If that's what you're talking about, I can totally picture that. That seems completely appropriate. I wouldn't be surprised. Swayze says, I met Sam Elliott at a grocery store in Portland a few years ago. Wow. That's an excellent celebrity sighting. I watched a movie a few years ago. It was sort of 1983-ish. It takes place in Times Square, and Sam Elliott plays a cop. And there's a lot of chase scenes and things like that. It was good. I don't remember the title. I don't remember the title of anything at this point. Yes, I really liked The Big Lebowski. It's worth watching that again soon. How about the name Compass? It means, oh, hey, Sweden. We have Sweden in the house. It's 3:30 a.m. in Sweden. Thank you very much for tuning in. Compass Kompis. It means buddy in Swedish and suggests something you don't want to be without, a compass. That's a beautiful name, I have to say. Kompis. Buddy. Buddy, it's funny you mention that because my friend Peter suggested Buddy as the name for the puppy. And I actually like the name, but we're not going to go with it. But it's also that song, the song that, oh, Leslie clarified. They're thinking of making a Big Lebowski musical instead of a Sex and the City musical. I don't know about it. It's hard to picture a Big Lebowski musical. It seems more operatic, to be frank. Yes, Mary, that's a great idea. Sam Elliott doing audiobooks. Yeah, so I wanted to say thank you, Sweden, for the idea. And Buddy was what my friend suggested, Buddy, for this dog. And I have that song, My Buddy, which I've sung before. I think it's Sammy Kahn. And it's such a beautiful song. And it's a real tearjerker because it made me think of my deceased dogs. Yes, Steph, I hear you. It could be overkill, an opera of Sex and the City or of The Big Lebowski or a musical. The crazy thing also is that so many things now are derivative. So many things are a new version of something else rather than original. And there was an article in the Times about this Stuntman movie that just came out, and they did a huge promo push. They spent a mountain of dough promoting it on social media, advertising it on the Super Bowl, and it had a very disappointing opening weekend just now of 28 million bucks, which was the smallest opening for a summer Hollywood. I don't know if you'd call it a blockbuster, but it was the smallest in like 20 or 30 years. Because what normally happens this time of year is they release a new Marvel movie, they release a new sequel to something. And this was described in the article as an example of why Hollywood is so gun shy about doing anything original. They can do an original thing with huge stars and all sorts of reasons why you'd think it would succeed, and then it doesn't do great. So they're much happier to be conservative and just shoot the next Spider-Man or whatever. Here's the little song in the children's song section of this book. Something got out of whack. There we go. Oh, where has my little dog gone? Oh, where can he be? With his ears. Oh, this is terrible. I'm not going to sing this song. They dock the, yeah, they don't, I didn't know that. They don't treat the dog terribly nicely in that song. Boo. Where's the tip jar? Oh, Z, thank you so much for asking. Tip jar coming soon. Yes, Leslie asked. Yes, it is. Is it Ryan Reynolds? It is. It's Ryan Reynolds, and who's in that movie, the Fall Guy or the Stuntman, the Fall Guy, and they were saying in the article that he's so bankable at this point because he just had that huge hit with Barbie, and then he also had a huge hit apparently singing the song from Barbie on the Oscars. So, among all of the factors that you would think would guarantee a really big opening weekend for that thing, it could still do well. There's time, I think. Wow, this got out of tune. I'll be loving you always, with a love that's true always. When the things you've planned need a helping hand, I will understand always. always. Oh, before I finish the outro, I want to tell you something really crazy. Something weird happened today. So on my way to the audition, I ran into a neighbor friend on the platform of the L train. We chatted. It was great to see her. I hadn't seen her in a while. It was a few months since I'd seen her. So we rode for a few stops. She was going to meet her daughter. And we said goodbye. And then when I was getting home from the audition an hour and a half later, I'm walking, and on the street, nowhere near my building or her building, on the street, I see a piece of paper, rectangular, and I identify it as an envelope, face down. And I'm about to pass it, and then I think, no, I'll turn it over and see what it is, because I like those sort of mysteries. I like finding someone's wallet and returning it, or keys or whatever. I find that enjoyable. A little bit of serendipity in life. Serendipity, synchronicity, I'm not sure. Anyway, I turned it over, and it was a check from a client to that friend of mine and her husband. They have an architecture business. The friend who I had just seen for the first time in a few months. It was a check. Well, it was an envelope with their address on it, and it was clearly a check. So I returned it back to them. I just thought that was a weird coincidence. Anyway, they were happy. They were happy to get their check. Who's not happy to get a check? Who's ever not happy to get a check? I guess if you're sitting at a restaurant, sometimes you're not happy to get a check. Okay, here's the rest of Always. Days may not be fair always. That's when I'll be there always. Not just for an hour, not just for a day, not just for a year, but always. All right, I'm always here at 9, people. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hey, Dave in LA. Dave in LA asks, what are the odds? Time for Vegas. Okay, that's not a bad idea. Maybe I will go. I have a deli I go to for my morning coffee. Very nice guy named Najib, and he gives me often. He'll give me my coffee on the house. He's a very, very kind guy. Works the night shift, so I go in there at like 6 a.m. There he is, cheerful, bright and cheerful. But they do sell those scratch-off things. I'm going to buy one of those because the chat room has suggested that serendipity is flowing my way. Not just for an hour, not just for a day. Every night at 9, always. All right. Thanks, Mary. Thanks, Waze. Thanks, Leslie. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, David. Thanks, Kathy. Thank you, Z. Mahalo. Thanks, Anne. Thanks, Steph. Double thank you to Steph. And thank you, Nuro Geezer. All right, people. I will see you here tomorrow night at 9. Sleep well.